wholeness. Welcome to my channel. Risk. The only ones that can ever betray you are the ones you trust. This is not a video or message saying don't trust anyone. You can never trust anybody. But then again, we must ask ourselves, what is trust? What is the nature of trust? Because when you trust someone, you believe that they are being truthful. Comes from true, right? The root word, true. Truth, trusting, trustworthy, truth. What I'm healing within myself is that being vulnerable, you take a risk. You take a risk of being vulnerable with people that you love and seemingly love you. But I have found that people will use your vulnerabilities against you to destroy you. And that's why I find it's very, very important to I'm struggling today. Compartmentalize your relationships with people. Meaning you have internal, deep-seated issues stemming from childhood, go to a therapist. Or traumas from relationships, go to a therapist. Don't trauma dump on people. I don't believe anyone should be someone's poubelle or trash can. You come home to work or come home from work and you just word vomit and project all that negativity you brought in from work onto your loved one, your family, your wife, your husband, your friend, anyone who will listen to you. But you haven't done any of the work to process that energy that you carried onto your person, yourself, by yourself. Be very careful with your vulnerabilities. I'm not saying don't trust people. I'm just saying, like, you can tell this person over here certain things. You can share certain things with this person over there. You can share certain things with this person over here. But to have one sole person that is your everything and they know everything, that I feel like you're setting yourself up. If anything, my first is source. It's non-human connection. Without that connection, I don't know how atheists do it. You know what I'm saying? You can't place or replace your God source with a man or a husband or a boyfriend or a wife or a girlfriend or a best friend or a colleague or a worker or your child. And people do this all the time. I swear they do this all. I've done it. Why do I need to go to God or go to source? Go to the womb of all creation when I have this person over here, when I have this mother figure over here, when I have this father figure over there, when I have this mentor or that mentor over there. I can talk to them about it. This is what the practice of silent fasting has showed me over the years. You don't need to just be mindful and heartful of your vulnerabilities. Know what they are, because sometimes you don't know. And the only way to know is when someone pulls it out of you and you become aware of the weakness, your weaknesses. Sometimes people hide behind their weaknesses too. To hide behind the shell. You know? The only ones that can betray you are the ones that have the most information on you. When people don't know your whereabouts, what you're doing, what your plans are, your goals are, your fears, your successes, they can't use that as ammo. It makes it that much harder. And I'm speaking from not just as a woman or a human being, but as a practitioner of energy manipulation and magic. The more people you, the more you tell or share with somebody about your innermost, shadows and demons and angels and all that other stuff with a specific person, the more they can use that against you. Especially if you've been wounded on a very deep level, like through sexual abuse or childhood abuse. People literally will take that and warp it into a weapon and use that against you to destroy you, to make you hit the reset button where you're completely at base level, foundation, ground zero. They just drop that bomb on you and it destroys all of this inner work that you've done. That's what happened to me. But it made me stronger. I could have let it destroy me. I could have let it get to me, but it made me that much stronger, that much more secure. Sometimes that A-bomb needs to be dropped and level out everything. Radiate all of what you think you needed and what you think you needed to carry with you. Maybe it's that scorpionic transformative energy that I have, but it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. That's not, but you have to be mindful. It's the closest people to you that are able to betray you. You can tell secrets and your innermost experiences and traumas with two different kinds of people. Your therapist, I should say three. Your therapist, someone who's gone through exactly what you've gone through, and they're willing and able to talk about it, and they too are going to therapy, or a complete stranger that you'll never see again. Be very, very careful with what you share, how you share, when you share. When you first meet new people and you're seeing them on a habitual basis, you got to be real careful. You just got to be real careful. I didn't think anybody would ever use a trauma in my past and then weaponize it. I never thought that could ever happen to me until it did. Those type of people, you cut them out of your life. You cut them out of your life. You don't never look back because they're gone. They're not them. Whoever they claim to be, they are not who they claim to be. Run, don't walk, run away. Run, don't walk away. Like run for your life. Run for the hills. Run far. And I ran so far away. Yeah. Because you give them a round two, it's over. Just start digging your own spiritual grave. Hope not physical one, but a spiritual one for sure. Because now they know exactly what to do and exactly what to say, and they will bury you. You won't even be a fragment of yourself. You'll be this weird ass creature like Schmeagol. You know Schmeagol in the movie in Lord of the Rings where he was a normal looking hobbit, you know what I'm saying? Just fishing and stuff, and he saw the sprinkles, a little glitter of gold, and put that ring on, and it took maybe about 200 or 300 years, but he morphed into something else. And it turned him. And so with these type of people, when you are betrayed after you share vulnerability with them, and they've weaponized the vulnerability, they weaponize the trauma, and then to re-traumatize you, they re-traumatize you, right? To bring you down a peg, because in their mind, they're never going to tell you this, but they hate you, and they want to, humble you a little bit. They want to bring you down a notch. They want to bring you to their level, or no, below their level. And they want to morph you. They want to turn you into a Schmeagle. My precious. That's what they want. They want to turn you into a creature. An orc. You know, they would kidnap some of the beautiful elves and then turn them into an orc. British people, when they sound like birds. Their accents, like when they yes sir, like they sound like birds to me when they speak. The oak, you know, like that's what happens. And the only way for you to get away, or the only way to save yourself, is to run. Run. It is not walk away. You can't reason with them. You can't visit with them. You can't talk through shit with them. You gotta bounce and run for your life. Run for your spiritual life. I wish I was being over dramatic, but I'm not. People that are gone, meaning their higher self is complete, like they're not connected to their soul. They've embodied their lower nature. They're not connected to spirit in any way, shape, or form. They're vampiric. All I can say is run. Like, run. Run. Don't let them, they don't, she don't want to be saved. He don't want to be saved. Like, don't save him. He don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. It's like that. Don't. It's a warning. This video is a warning. Only way that you can ever be betrayed are the people, the ones that you trust with your vulnerabilities. And they will use that shit, man. I never even, I'm like, nah, this person's not going to do that. He would never. She would never. And you're like, oh, you're wanting to destroy me. Okay, all right. I gotta get up out of here. And it's not, because there are some people who literally will like physically kill you. No, the worst kind of death, they're spiritual. A spirit, I mean, like when people try to destroy your spirit, because spirit is the key, it is the conduit that connects you to your human and your soul. And when that channel, that spiritual channel, is effed up, and you turn into a Schmeagle, or you turn into an orc, and it's, you know, you can't come back from that. That's permanent. That's permanent damage. And there are people who are permanently damaged people. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there are damaged goods out there. I wish that wasn't the case, but there are damaged goods out there. You just gotta let them. You gotta leave them the f alone, man. People who seek to destroy you have already destroyed themselves. They don't care about themselves. They don't love themselves. They don't want to create. They can only destroy. It's almost like they're little minions of the Shadow Elite, and they don't even know that they are. See, people often think the Shadow Elite is the higher echelon, but the higher cream of the crop in society, in the Shadow Elite, they have little minions in the other realms that do the work. They do a lot of dark work. Meaning, if you're just a normal Joe Schmo, but you carry a lot of light and love in you, sometimes they'll send, you know, demons, daemons, and entities and experiences to throw you off your path. That's what happened to me. In the guise of spiritual consciousness, awareness. Look how spiritual I am. I am free of ego, love, and light. And with that rhetoric, boom, they got you. And you're wondering, you're like, oh, and you have one chance to get out. You got one chance. one chance, because each time you choose to stay around the vicinity of a person like that, they get stronger, you get weaker. It's true. That's why it's like for real, like really physically abusive relationships where like, and this happens to men too, where they get caught up in like a woman who's beating their ass, right? It happens. There are many cases of men, they don't get a lot of coverage, but but in the more popular one is when men beating women. But like if like people always wonder how come a abused woman never leaves. She had a moment to go, a very clear opening to go, but she didn't take it. And this is before like he's just beating her on a daily basis, or the abuse is so bad that like he's threatening to take the life of her or the kids or all of them. It's to the point where she missed that boat, and each time that boat comes around, it's farther and farther from the shore, and she's going to have to swim out farther and farther to reach it, while this crazy ass entity working through this so-called man or woman has so much strength and power over her. This is some deep stuff. This is some deep, deep stuff I'm talking about. This is part of spiritual warfare. And a lot of the time it shines through romantic relationships, because sexual energy is the easiest way for these entities to latch on. Or through something like with they latch on. It's easier for them to latch on through the sacral portal, your genitals. So and I don't just mean in sexual manner. I mean also in creative. That's why in the entertainment industry, it's a huge problem for so many people to get out, because there's an opening for them to get the hell out of Dodge, but the entity that's working through that producer, the entity that's working through that director, the entity that's working through that label, or the studio has tapped into that actor or that entertainer's creative life force juices, which is where the solar the sacral chakra, the yoni, the lingam, our power. That's our life, creative life force energy. So it has nothing to do with sex. It has nothing to really do with that, but it is a tool. And if you're creating music or on stage performing, and they latch onto you, and then you realize, oh, I'm being abused. They're using me. There's an opening, and you gotta take it. You gotta run. You gotta run for your life. You gotta run for your life. You gotta run for your soul. You gotta run for your spirit. You gotta run for your human flesh. If you gotta leave everything behind, leave it. You gotta start all over, do it. But I'm telling you, this is a warning, because we're in the spiritual warfare is beginning to manifest. Those of you who can see what's happening, you can see. Those of you who can't, and you're wondering why everything's a mess, you're wondering why you can't get out, take heed to this message. And those of you who know exactly what you're doing, and you're weaponizing people's trauma, you're weaponizing vulnerabilities, there's something for you. There's something for you. Am I a vengeful person? No. Do I do the whole return to sender? No. I don't do any of that. Not in my practice. There's no need. Mm-mm. But there's something for those type of individuals. Yeah, tell me what happened to you when you were 5. Tell me. Oh, that's so horrible. Boom, they got you. They just, oh, okay, I got this. I got her. I got him. Boom, boom. whether that's a physical blow they give, or a spiritual blow, or emotional blow, mental, psychological, doesn't matter. It is what it is. Get out and run. Don't try to change them. Don't try to, oh, why did you use that against me? I trusted you. Don't. At that point, it's pointless to try to explain anything. It happens to men too. It happens to men too. There are some nasty, wicked women out there. That's the thing. I'm not trying to do this, men against women, women against. No. I'm not about that bull crap. That's bull. There's a bunch of BS. Sexist type of stuff. Men are trash. Women are trash. If one gender is talking trash about the other, get out my face and get off my channel. I don't do that crap. It's all about accountability. The same stuff I'm talking about happens to men too. And men miss the opportunity to get on out as well. I'll change her. I can save her. She didn't mean it. It's just stuff from her past. Okay. Please take heed to this message. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not making anything up. I'm not stretching out anything. It's sad I had to learn hard lessons, but I'm glad, I'm happy and grateful now that I can share it with you so you can be aware that there are diabolical individuals out there that are so lost and that are so self-destructive. They've destroyed themselves that they will destroy you and use your vulnerabilities and weaknesses that are unhealed against you to knock you down a peg. Oh, she's too spiritual. We'll show her. She's too smart. She's too intelligent. She's too pretty. I got something for her. Tell me your secrets. And I'll tell you no lies. That's what they do. This is deeply, deeply spiritual what I'm talking about. This isn't... Oh. That's why I stopped doing energy readings, because I don't think I would be taken seriously enough. Because energy readings they've gone commercial. It's an ancient practice that people should know how to do for themselves and for like their immediate family. I don't think, I'm going to make a video on it because I just think it's getting kind of crazy out here in these digital tarot reading, energy reading streets, astrology streets. Like, it's getting to the point where it's like it's become an economy. It's become just another job. The real ones aren't going to charge you. There, I said it. There will be an energy exchange, but the real ones I've met, they don't charge you for shit. They don't do that. They don't, yeah, give me $300. Give me $75. You're paying for their time. You're not paying for the actual message because you already know the message. All that I'm telling you right now, you already know. I'm reminding you. Nothing new under the sun. What I have in this book, these messages, there's nothing new under the sun. You know this, but we often forget because we get caught up. I'm so in love. He loves me. She loves me. You will see this type of I call it dark magic. That's the thing. Some dark musicians or magicians, they don't even know that they're practicing like black art, like black magic. Some do, some don't. That's how dark they are. That's how lost they are. They're not even aware that they're being used by other energies and entities and demons. They close the door on their angels. They close the door on their God. They close the door on the all. and they lost their faith. So what happens to faithless beings? What happens to the faithless? They get used. So, you know, this is part of the spiritual warfare, but those of you who are active, who are super creative, artists, dancers, authors, writers, poets, you make movies, you make music, you perform, especially if you're on a deeply spiritual path. Ooh, they love to hook themselves into creative, like if you're actively using your sacral energy, you're an active co-creator in life, you gotta be careful with these individuals. And sometimes there's a slip up and you didn't know, because they're really good with disguising themselves. Like I said, the shadow elite are really good at disguising and hiding. And I am spiritual, love and light. Yeah. Run. Run. When they knock you down the first time, I mean a good just boom. Like, whether that's physical, verbal, spiritual, mental, psychological, any form of abuse, any little red flag that's bothering you and has wounded you and it's knocked you down, where it's hard for you to catch your breath, get the F out. And don't play games. Don't try to change them. They're gone. Don't try to change them. Don't try to reason. Don't try to talk through shit. Grab your metaphysical, spiritual tools and get up out of there. People aren't going to be sincere and loving and genuine as you. They're not going to be they're not going to love as you do. Everyone loves, they're in their own way. And the ones that love like you do are the right ones for you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.